You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number 391 of East Central's favorite podcast. Jeremiah Morrell here, joined by executive video producer, audio engineer, pickle connoisseur, Zach Burcham.
Good evening.
He's super happy. Mr. Bones, a man who has quit smoking cigarettes this spring. How's life?
It's good.
Yeah,
It's good.
It's very good. It's fine.
Good. Everything is fine.
I'm very happy.
Very happy.
He's sitting close enough to stab me tonight, so I'm going to be in my best behavior. And returning for the second week in a row, co-host Betsy Mills. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks. And yes, thank you for the reminder. I will be kind in this direction so I don't get shanked.
Listen, if he's not kind to you, you don't have to be kind back. You can.
That's true.
You can
but
take your
I
aggression out.
respect what he's doing.
Listen,
so.
be kind, rewind.
Nobody understands that reference.
Oh.
We're the olds now. The TikTokers have no idea what you mean.
Oh my God. Big show tonight. We've got
the biggest.
We've got talk of convictions. We have talk of Micah Beckwith, Lieutenant Governor, updates on his vehicle and his he's been practicing his fractions. George Santos has been sentenced. Betsy, you have to laugh into the microphone. It's a podcast.
Okay, I'm absolutely dying at the fractions comment. I'm overcome with delight. That was 10 out of 10, no notes.
The Canadians had an election and Donald Trump lost. Mr. Bones, Kentucky Derby.
Love it.
You're going to be in charge of that conversation tonight. Be ready.
All right.
Sports, we're going to take that one together. All right.
All right.
Go team. This show's about our lives in rural Indiana. We're here to push your boundaries and make you think as individuals. Sometimes we'll provoke you, other times we'll make you laugh, but hopefully you'll always learn something new. And if you were one of those bastards that listens at 1.5 speed, I said that extra fast just to mess with you. Listen to us at the regular pace. I don't want to sound like a chipmunk. You want to sound like a chipmunk?
Yeah.
No. All right. He already did when he quit smoking. Mr. Bones, we've got sponsors.
We do.
A lot of sponsors.
And new ones.
We have added some late breaking sponsors that are not on the list.
I'll take that. I can take that check now from you since we have more sponsors.
I already sent it to the business office. John Phillips over at Wetzel Ford in Richmond, Indiana.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
He's a block up the street tonight.
He's a good Republican.
He's a good Republican. He's the president of our Republican club in Henry
Different
County.
John Phillips, not John Madison.
No. John Phillips.
Oh, he's not the chairman. He's the president of the club.
President of the club. That's what I said. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I said, okay, president, not chair. But of the Republican club of Henry County, not the two different groups that work together all the time.
Yeah. It's a big club.
Anyway, we love John Phillips. We love John Phillips.
You know, Chris Farley's cousin, who runs Ford Motor Company, he was interviewed this week, and he said that they make the most American vehicle at Ford. Literally, they make more American vehicles than anybody else does. It goes
if that's true, they should brag about it.
It is. He was on the CNBC.
I say that as a GM retiree daughter.
I know. Listen,
That's
they make
cool.
a very compelling argument, and now they're going to make the Expedition in Louisville. Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got production down there. The new model Expedition is going to be out there.
They're enormous.
Like 20% of all Ford workers work in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Right here. Yeah. That is so.
I
They
never
have two
really
assembly
known that
plants
they're
down there.
that
And I
big
wonder
a
how
deal.
many of them are Hoosiers.
It's big time. Well, they got the new bridge built over on the east end.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And then
And-
they have a parking lot there to Speedway in Kentucky.
At Sparta. At Sparta, where they get put before they get put on a barge to go up to Cincinnati and be sold at Wetzel.
Yeah.
In Richmond. Varsity Outfitters, Blake Reese, the awesome and incredible and dedicated Blake Reese. Going to be a lot of new Newcastle merch sold because they got a new basketball coach today. You guys hear that?
No.
Newcastle basketball stealing a coach from was it Wapahani, Zach?
Yes. Yeah. And he's apparently very good. They've been to a state finals like last year, and his record at that school
Is like 4-1.
335 and 99.
Help me.
That's a hell of a record.
Yeah,
for
that's a
Class
monster.
Wapahani, you don't have that one on your list?
All right.
How big is Wapahani?
It's tiny. It's Class A. I mean, it's like what? It's 50 to 80 a class, if that.
Bigger than Union.
Well, Union is Union. It is a small
DOA.
school district.
Rest in peace, Union.
We have a fun rivalry with Shenandoah and Raiders and the Wapahani Raiders.
Thomas Oaks, Walnut Ridge RV here in Newcastle on State Road 38. Spent the weekend hanging out with Kyle Robbins, who bought his brand new Delta Alliance from Tommy over there. Gorgeous camper. I wasn't allowed inside, Zach, but it was beautiful.
You weren't allowed inside.
I never went in.
Oh yeah,
I didn't try.
He wasn't.
I really going to other.
I was
people's
probably
campers.
gonna have to take my shoes
For
off.
some people, going into other people's campers is like going into their bedroom for some reason, even though it's more like a house. But yeah,
I didn't go in. I was happy outside, but it was a great camper. They did very well. So I'm excited for that. New sponsors this week, Zach. We've got whom has been added. Morrell Monument Cleaning.
She said Zach.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Bones.
I was confused because I'm like, I don't have the updated
Hey, Zach,
notes.
come on, do it. You got it. You got this, Mr. Bones. You've got the read.
We got. Oh,
Don't disappoint my mother.
Listen,
No
that
one
ship
wants
sailed
that.
a long
Nobody
time
wants
ago.
to disappoint
Don't make me wing it because she
No.
gave very specific instructions.
We have
I
Morrell
want
Monument
instructions next
Cleaning. Preserve and clean your loved one's shrine. Years to come. Using safe cleaning materials of all stone monuments and markers. Free estimates serving East Central Indiana. See their Facebook page. And then Pops Recycle.
That's right. Pops Recycle in Rushville as well. He's got the vintage recycled Schwinns, so the storefront. Excited to have them back on the show. And we've doubled up. We got mom and dad now.
Mom and Dad are doing well.
This is pretty exciting.
That's
It
great.
is.
Pretty exciting. If you've had some deaths in your family, you want to treat them right, you go get the monument cleaned and shined up going into the spring. Give a little spring cleaning, give Joyce a call. She'll take care of it.
That's really cool.
You guys want big monuments when you're gone? You have
No.
no.
I haven't really thought about it, but probably not.
I want an
I-
obelisk. I'd like to be a burden, like Washington Monument
You're
style,
right.
like something under 30
I feel like
feet,
that's not your vibe.
like 20 to 30 feet
I feel
tall.
like your vibe is like maybe a giant like granite race car or something. It would be way cooler than an obelisk.
I kind of want an obelisk.
But a race car would be cool. You're like great.
It would be,
great
for
grandparent
sure.
would be like
I want
grandpa was
I
cool.
want like a pine box in the woods, like not unmarked,
Above the ground or below the ground?
below the ground.
You
I
just
mean,
wanna be
eventually I'm going to end up there, but like
mean,
just like
fair.
find a spot in the woods somewhere and just dig a hole and throw me in there. I guess you have to
That's
put
not
some-
good for the monument cleaning
You don't have
business.
to, I don't need. Yeah, well, I don't need the monument. You can put the monument somewhere else. Put it somewhere inconvenient. You can put a monument for me somewhere. Put it outside the gates of the cemetery, facing the road, so I can watch cars go by.
Just want
Can't
to do
you
some
watch
people
from
watching.
within the cemetery?
What?
Can't you watch from within the cemetery
It'd be-
in your
but
death?
the fence is in the way.
Yeah.
What if there's no fence?
And then the people already have those
cemeteries
front
have
rows.
Here's the thing: if you get the big obelisk, everybody knows where it's at, and it's easy to find. Have you ever gone? I've gone to try to find my grandparents' grave, and I always
What
think
if
I know
you
where
start
it
the
is.
rage and then you just
I
blend
think I
in?
know where it is, and then I'm off by like hundreds of feet every time because it's not nearly as far to the one direction as I thought it was.
So what do you think of the Roman-esque one that's in our cemetery? The enormous one.
Yeah, I think they're
On the hill.
landmarks.
I always thought that was like a thing that was on the bread bag because when I was a kid, there was a brand of bread that had like what is it? That
The columns.
yeah, the columns on it, and I was like, oh, that's it. That's that thing from the cemetery. But every time I run by that, I'm like, how important is that
I want
person?
no place in that cemetery. Any cemetery.
Monument
cemetery.
talk with Bones. Well, if you've had a loss and you want to take care of them, give Joyce a call. She'll get you hooked up.
Let's spread my ashes somewhere fun.
Horse track.
Maybe.
Just out the back of a UPS truck.
Betsy, your
horse too.
party has a real winner in the lieutenant governor. I kind of just said I wanted him to stop the unforced errors. That's how I wanted to preface this segment.
I think that's
today.
a good way of framing it. I think that's polite and correct.
He was noted so to catch people up. Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith. He got elected with Mike Braun this last fall. He won at the convention, and as soon as he was taking office, he he had his team requisition a new SUV. He had a
Bros. These are bros, all right? Not a team.
They
They're
had
bros.
well, his people ordered him a car. There was a 2022 Dodge Durango that he said had high miles and it had been wrecked. Apparently, it had sideswiped a gas pump. It had been repaired, but it was on the Carfax, and the previous lieutenant governor, she sideswiped a gas pump with it. So it was dead to her. It's now been farmed out, and the guy that runs corrections for the state of Indiana drives it, and it's just fine.
Yeah.
So it's been reallocated.
Did he come forward to say that was the damage?
Yeah, they said, hey, this is what's wrong with it. Some minor accidents, but the biggest thing was that
It was like
women drivers, I guess, is what he was trying to blame. I don't know.
She's not driving that. She's got people
I was gonna
driving
say, I was gonna
that.
say, I bet
It's
she
going to
was.
be a state police officer driving that or a staffer.
Well,
not.
according to Micah, though, the reason why he needed a bigger car was because she and all of her people were women,
Tiny little women,
and they could fit in a Durango. And he's got big dudes that roll with him, and he needed a bigger vehicle.
So Beckwith appeared on the Kendall and Casey show, and he said, I don't want anything luxury. These were his instructions. He said, I didn't want anything luxury. I don't want anything too non-American. I want something that's big enough to get my team around. Those are my stipulations. They said, here you go. This is what we got. And that's what I got.
I just got the pickle.
My watch is, check Patreon for that. My watch is letting me know the weather in, I guess for now. My God. And then I tried to unmute my laptop to fix it. And that wasn't the problem. It's all falling apart over here.
Well, going back to leasing the car, likely it's the most expensive possible price point. If it were me, just me, last car I bought had 2,000 miles on it, and I got it for like 35% under sticker. Got really good deal on it. Ran it. It was very clean. It was a company car for like 3 months. I cannot fathom spending that much money on a vehicle. Brand new, all of it, bells and whistles, all of it. I would try to at least, I don't know, the 20 or 30 grand I could have saved on that vehicle would have actually mattered to me at that level.
So the contention that
for the same freaking car.
The contention that Beckwith had was he said, hey, I just want something that's American. Don't want anything fancy, just something American.
That's what he said in his interview.
That was what he said in the interview. The Indianapolis Star and their kick-ass reporting team did a Freedom of Information request, and they checked with the state. And they said, hey, what documents do you have around this? And because they capture things, they basically got the Skype, the text message, the link message, whatever software they used. And this is messaging from the procurement person and Elizabeth Woods, who works for the lieutenant governor, the incoming lieutenant governor.
He's not incoming.
At the time he was. At the time he was. So this message was sent January 2nd.
So he was car shopping before he
had not taken the job yet. January 2nd, 11 o'clock in the morning. This is from Elizabeth Woods. Nathan, I'm the director of operations for the lieutenant governor's office. You normally work with Kyle Borders from my office, but Kyla. This is literally like a picture of what they had. This is what the state submitted. You normally work with Kyla Borders from my office, but she's out on leave. And Lieutenant Governor-elect would like to trade in our current Lieutenant Governor's vehicle for a newer and larger vehicle. Star 2 does have over 150,000 miles on it. Zach, it's dead. It's at over 150,000 miles on it. Can you tell me what's available? He's looking for a black SUV like a Yukon with all of the bells and whistles. Elizabeth, I'll be happy to help you locate a new full-size SUV for the Lieutenant Governor-elect. Give me a few days, and I'll have some quotes to share with you. Perfect. So that was the request. It was not the request that he had indicated of, hey, large, American, whatever. I want a Yukon, and I want all the bells and whistles. That's what he asked for.
I just think about, okay, so I'm someone who has voted to spend taxpayer money. I can say that is something I've done that most people never get to do. I'll say the Henry.
I think that was a shot at you.
No.
She's raised taxes on people before and been
yeah.
On two of the three of us.
My neighbors in the face as I vote to raise our taxes. Yeah, I've done that. I hate it. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, like, locally,
just think of all those orphans I could have fed, but nope, Betsy stole from me.
I know, and I'm the worst. And thank you to the city of Indiana for giving me the luxury of raising taxes so that you guys don't have to, you absolute cowards. I mean that, legislature. Again. You are cowards who forget yourselves when you get elected from this level up to your level. Amen. Anyway, I'm just saying locally for Henry County, I'm proud of my colleagues and those before me and behind me now. They are, we aren't the richest county in Indiana, and I've only seen really judicious spending of money in this county. So I'll just say that. But all the bells and whistles. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. I'll
need those
just swear
vibrating
like
seats.
that. Jeez Louise.
Where did we find him from?
He's a
He found
pastor.
himself. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
He failed. He ran for Congress and lost. He was friends with Rob Kendall, and Micah spent a year and a half running for lieutenant governor to lower property taxes.
He campaigned very well.
He worked really hard, and you can win at conventions. It's
really,
exactly what Diego Morales did.
Yes, it is. It's work every event you can get to. I mean, this is without judgment. I mean, it's a game to play, and the game they played that game really well. Really well. They executed very well. Everybody in Indiana knows Diego. If you're a Republican in Indiana, you know Diego because he's at your events.
And he touched your leg.
No comment. But whatever. But maybe I don't know. Anyway. But like, if you're somebody who's elected, you're a precinct committee man, or you're going to events, like you will know those names if they make themselves known. And not to say they are always the best candidates, but they are compelling candidates. And it works. Name ID works. It works at every freaking level. So some of those I've been on the right side of, other times I've been absolutely dashed and heartbroken. So Chris had just said, be nice to my friend Jer. So Jer, I'm sorry to have not I don't know what I was meaning, but I am truly sorry.
Zach, the SUV has the Chevy 6.2 in it. Is that motor known for good things right now?
No, they just issued a stop sale on those. And if you tried to trade in on a Cybertruck now, they wouldn't even take it, I don't think. I've heard of people trying to trade them. Yeah, they're having issues with that motor.
So literally it's the biggest Chevy V8 they make. They put it in the top in the high countries.
In the production car, yeah.
If you're ordering, it's the big Chevy, the big block Chevy right now. And it's what both Morales and Beckwith have in their SUVs. You couldn't buy it today because GM says no dealers can sell it because it's a known problem.
They're just blowing
and
up.
they're literally puking motors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the great choice. The two things that are
Somehow
funny
or
about
another,
this is,
the Dodge Durango is a better car than the GM.
yes. Well, that and I actually find it a little bit worse that he was doing this before he even got in office. Like he dug in to find out what the vehicle was and find out what the mileage was on it. Probably transition team stuff. And it's like, oh no, we can't have this. The other thing too is like, I go to the 500 Festival Parade every year. The governor's normally there. You know what? The governor's riding around in a nondescript Toyota Sequoia. Not loaded, not crazy.
Well, they assemble Toyotas in Indiana.
I know, but it's just a middle of the road. It's
right.
Nothing fancy. And like, so why do all these people that are below him get $90,000 SUVs? I bet his was 45.
So the original cost of the vehicle that they got for Beckwith was $91,000. The state got they negotiated a whole $3,000 off of it. So we paid $87,672.
That's because they were able to take the trade-in at higher.
I'm madder
amount.
now. Jeez.
I need to get they need to get his health insurance company to negotiate the price. They really cut that stuff down.
They didn't even try.
No.
They got a whole $3,000
You
off.
didn't even try
You
to
can
try.
trip into the dealership and they'll take off $5,000.
Yes.
He should just gotten one of the governor's old vehicles and the governor got a new one.
Gosh. I should have.
For $87,000, Patriot. We go back to Patreon. For $87,000, I'm fixing the transmission in mine. I'll tell you that. To replace it. In other news, the lieutenant governor keeps finding the news. We haven't had a lieutenant governor that makes the news. Like that doesn't happen.
Yeah, they're kind of like
they're in charge of agriculture, and they're just there in case of emergency. Break glass in case of emergency.
Suzanne was pretty cool, though.
Yes,
she probably
She was she understood the assignment, and she did her job very, very well, promoting the state, agriculture, all of it. She killed it.
Sure, they all did, because I don't know a single lieutenant governor we've ever had.
Unless they became governor eventually.
Until this clown.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't spend a lot of time hosting podcasts until this one.
Well, that's true either. But still,
Suzanne Crouch is pretty cool.
So
she really is a badass.
I'm saying she was cool.
You missed
she
out,
did
man.
her job.
I'm going to tell you stories that made
she was seen but not heard.
Yes,
this dude is a clown. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She was cool. She is cool.
Bobby Steele is in the chat. He says, imagine the potholes that this vehicle is absolutely destroyed. That are absolutely destroying this vehicle.
It's probably rolling on 22s.
I'm just picturing him like heading down to Bloomington on I-69.
Does he have LED lights on the wheels?
And the thing,
Probably.
it just pukes a motor around Martinsville, and he's just stuck out there
puke when
thumbing
he's
it.
backing into his parking space. For Diego, if Diego's backing into that obnoxiously privileged parking space at the State House and just pukes oil it just runs down next to the steps, that would be, because apparently that's what they do. They just die.
So
But yeah.
Beckwith, as they hit sign 9 and they finished up, Beckwith decided it was time for him to give a lesson on the United States Constitution.
Yikes.
And there was a 4-minute video that was released that turned into national news, where he was explaining to the people of Indiana that the Constitution is full of gems like the 3/5 compromise. Which, do you remember this, Bones? The 3/5 compromise?
Yes, I do.
It's to count property. 3/5 of a person counts as 60% of a person. Slaves and other owned property are 60% of a person, so that they get more congressional allocation.
Big problems in Rushville.
Beckwith is saying, "Hey, this is good. It helped the country unite, whatever." And he thought that this was a necessary thing to speak up.
Does he know he's the lieutenant governor of Indiana and not Alabama or Georgia or someplace south of the Mason-Dixon where they might have a more favorable view upon policies like that?
It did not get universal love.
Shocking.
Don't say. I thought
It's a
it went over well.
Bit of a toe stub.
Jeez Louise.
You normally don't want to talk about how great the Constitution was when it's one of the things they went back and fixed later and edited later, right? Yes, it in the best case scenario, it is, hey, this is how we were able to get the country established, and then we had to fight a damn civil war to fix it correctly and make sure that all people are treated as people, and this is a stain on the country that we fixed 150 years ago. But we still have people in high office that are telling us, no, it was great negotiation. So Mike Braun, the governor, they're in a shotgun marriage, Bones, Mr. Bones.
He did not choose.
They definitely
he wanted somebody else to be his lieutenant
I was
governor.
there watching that. That was definitely a shotgun wedding.
He was asked, just as Donald Trump is in his first 100 days, Governor Braun is in his first 100 days, and he's celebrating at Fort Benjamin Harrison State Park in Indianapolis. And he said that he didn't like it and he would not have used that characterization. He said, "I'm a believer that you better start thinking about what you're saying before it comes out. And if you don't want to make headlines the wrong way, because it takes away from the substance of what you're trying to do in general."
And this is from a guy who thinks that interracial marriage is a states' rights issue.
Yeah.
These are just unforced errors.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just, I don't know how else to say it.
Like who he's apparently driving around with a Tahoe full of bros. Are none of them like being like, "Hey man, I'm not sure if talking positively about a thing that reduced the value of human beings based on the color of their skin is a great idea." Like, there's people, right? They have staff that tell them what not to hey.
Why is someone not telling this kid to shut up and sit down and don't talk until called upon?
Yeah. Go.
Because
he is not governable.
He thinks
And
he's been
shown
chosen
that.
by God to be in this
That's not a value
position.
statement. He's just not going to play that game.
He's been chosen by God to be in this position to preach,
well,
and to explain, and to tell his truth. And
right.
This is his truth.
It is. And I can text him right now, and anyway, I know Micah. Everything we've said is correct. Like, I mean, I mean this without disparagement. He believes he's on a mission from God, and
this isn't a Blues Brothers movie.
I didn't say it was, but like,
well, no, because it was Blues Brothers that tried to reduce taxes. Instead, the whole point of Blues Brothers was property taxes are screwing you, Bones.
He says interesting things sometimes. I generally feel like I don't quite agree.
Teenagers say interesting things too, and their brains aren't fully developed yet. But once in a while, something pops out that's interesting.
President of the Senate.
Yeah, I can't hear you in the headphones, man.
Oh. Yeah, it's probably over here. Betsy.
Yeah, sorry, but
that's okay.
But in this 3/5 chat, he's like sitting on a desk, like it's framed up, and It wasn't like a knee jerk. Somebody asked him a random question. No, it was like, oh, it's story time.
I just think in general, like let's show off the state of Indiana. Like in your role as Lieutenant Governor, you are Indiana's greatest cheerleader. I mean, besides Gov, that is also your job. That's literally your job to be our cheerleader, and tourism and agriculture, all that, which is, obviously our backbone. So I just let's avoid the landmines that are so absolutely obvious.
The guy should disappear. Like right now, he should disappear.
That's not going to happen.
He has nothing he needs to do. They're not in session for a while. He could just do nothing.
He could.
He doesn't know to though.
Yeah.
Someone needs to tackle him. His bros that are yoke or whatever, they need to tackle him. Like if he starts talking, tackle him.
You got to
do anything, tackle him.
You got to think in 3 years he wants to be the governor. This isn't how you become the governor.
No, by just loading him up with ammo. And like when you do it like this in a video, that means that they don't have to cut anything. They don't have to like pull a quote out. They literally can just show you saying things as you released it, and it's problematic.
You think he runs in 3 years against Braun?
Braun. I mean,
Braun would torch his ass with name ID alone.
He's 74 years old, and he's never.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think Braun's run for re-election in anything he's ever done.
It's name ID.
He's never wanted to keep a job.
Right.
Braun comes in. He's got pragmatic version of me, right?
We better get 8 years out
Braun,
of pad.
It's not like you can pick it up and move somebody.
I know, but seriously.
Braun ran. He was a state representative for maybe 2 or 4 years, like very short term.
And a brother, yeah.
And then he spent the money, got the congressional, the U.S. Senate seat.
Pretty impressive, honestly.
Beat 2 sitting congressmen, right?
Yeah,
he did a great job.
Yep.
He did it for 5 years and said, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yep.
And he wanted to do something else. And he wanted to be the governor.
He loves Jasper.
And he got to fly there, right?
Yep.
So honestly, I just don't think he's an 8-year governor. I think he's 4 years and done. Especially as shitty as this first session went. I don't think he wants that again.
I don't know. I mean, maybe, but also you introduce a level of spice I had not previously considered. So I don't know, but
does he
I think name ID is a huge, huge thing.
Or he says, I've done a great job with Indiana. I want to be president now.
I got a vice president pick for him.
I don't see that path.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think that. I just don't think he runs again. The guy has no track record of running over and over again. A lot of politicians get in a job and want to keep it forever. He is the one politician that I've seen that says
he's got enough money on his own to not pursue.
He doesn't care.
For sure.
He wants to do the job, try it out, and he hasn't liked one real well yet.
Yeah.
He's still trying to find himself.
Well, see, just the fact that, in theory, at least at this point, practicality, the fact that Trump shouldn't be running again in 4 years, and he very much ties himself to Trump in terms of like he posted 100 days thing about how great Trump. He called it. Now he used a very careful word though. I think he called it the most consequential first 100 days of a presidential term. Proper. I would say that's a good choice of words.
Braun absolutely attached himself to Trump, and honestly, so did Beckwith. They both are.
I just wonder if the fact that Trump
both of them
won't be on the ballot. I'm going to try and say that with a straight face without curiosity as shenanigans, but won't be on the ballot for years. And he's like, do I really want to run when he's not on the ballot to attach myself to?
Beckwith said of Senate Democrats in an interview on Tuesday that they are using revisionist history to bludgeon the character of this amazing constitutional public that we have. The Senate Democrat caucus Monday in a statement said that Beckwith's comments were inaccurate and morally bankrupt. No compromise that counted human beings as fractions can ever be anything but a stain on our nation's conscience, they wrote. State Representative Earl Harris of East Chicago, Indiana, said the Indiana Black Legislative Caucus chair that the video was rage bait. To argue that the 3/5 compromise was North America's attempt at playing the long game to undermine the South is not just a gross misunderstanding of history, it's a purposeful whitewashing for political gain and media attention. So there you go.
I thought that was a great quote.
Yeah, it's really important to have a faithful opposition, and I'm thankful that there's at least a couple of Democrat senators left.
Yeah,
I think there's like 7 of them.
I mean,
they could have their caucus in this room without even needing to pull more chairs in. But I'm glad they are there. So that's the update from that side of the state house. You guys remember the Gabe Whitley story? Honest Gabe. He ran for Senate or for Congress in the 7th district.
You've said he is Indiana's George Santos.
He was considered to be Indiana's George Santos. He ran for Congress against Representative Carson. He finished last in the Republican primary. He lost to a dead woman, if you guys remember this.
That's
I
always
forgot
good.
he was in that. Oh, that's
It's
funny.
always good.
Oh, that's funny.
But when he filled out his campaign finance forms, he made up a bunch of donors to make it look like he had big money. And he got called out on it. There was a complaint made, and he's going to go spend 3 months in federal prison.
He kind of looks like George Santos.
They kind of look alike.
He also has separately been in a spat with Abdul Hakim Shabazz, the journalist and former mayor candidate in Indianapolis, and Abdul got a judgment against him for I think $500,000.
Wow.
And that Santos
The logic
that
in trying to
equates Santos
post up
can't
on
pay.
Abdul is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I just would not fool with Abdul. Like, Abdul is such a institution, and he's a lawyer, and I would not mess with him. I think he's delightful.
Why does
but
with a platform?
gee, wow.
3 months.
Divine judgment is amazing.
federal prison and $100 fine.
Ooh,
Just under.
$100 fine.
one Benjamin.
He's got to get in line behind the $500,000 for Abdul. I hope the people of America can get their $100 before Abdul gets his $500,000, because we need to be made whole.
But also, like, why was he prosecuted and the guilty verdict? Fraudulent campaign finance. Like,
Yeah. It's the basis of what we do.
You file paperwork. You understand if you screw your paperwork up, like your finance
It's
paperwork.
perjury, whatever.
Oh my God. Like, it scared me to my soul. Every time I had that paperwork, I had it like 5 times checked. The last couple times I've paid professionals, like the same people who work for the governor, to file
The
my
other
stuff.
governor, not this governor.
Probably both. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But like paying for it to be correct, because I don't want to deal with that nonsense and I want it to be right. I cannot fathom making up donors.
Yeah, to do it,
You are begging to go to jail, man.
yeah, and to do it to like, you'd think that most of them, if they did it, would be hiding donors or like trying to like move it around.
Yes,
But no,
yes.
he
The
did
other
it.
way.
He did it falsely to make himself
Crazy.
look better than he
Oh.
was.
He also defended himself by saying he has autism.
Nope. I mean,
I can
sure.
see it.
I don't.
I can see
He
it.
may or may not. I'm not a doctor, but like, you don't just say that. That's
Really?
not your. That's not a get out of jail card, brother. Yikes. Or not.
No,
yikes.
it's a go to jail card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unreal, man. It's unreal. And the original version, George Santos, also was sentenced this week to 87 months in prison.
He was a lot more apologetic.
He did a much better job
That
at
dude is
scam
hilarious.
because he actually got to Congress.
He made up like a whole bunch of stuff too, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he
He like fabricated an entire backstory.
At least he's in on the joke. Like, he knows he's a con man. I don't know. Just saying.
I was just trying to pull the so back to Gabe Whitley. In 2023, he admitted that he had claimed 67 people were fake, and he had invented biographies for all of them, and they had contributed $222,000 to his campaign for Congress.
Right
So
now.
where did that money come from?
It was fake. It wasn't even real. He just claimed it was real.
Wait. So for clout?
Yes,
He's going to prison for clout?
he did it.
He
to-
didn't
He
embezzle
did it
it or
to
get it
appear.
from like a Qatari prince. He got it. It was
It was not real money. He also said he loaned.
lied for monopoly
He also
money
said
for
he
clout.
loaned $100,000 to his own campaign.
Oh my!
It's like he bought followers. He like
Jeez
tried to. He
Louise.
tried to like.
He tried to act
He's
like
a
he's
finance
got.
way to
God.
buy
Listen,
followers.
I'm a serious Republican candidate. I got $500,000 in money. What now, you guys?
You
he started
absolute
the ball
houseplant,
rolling.
moron. Are you? I'm sorry to be ignorant of the facts of the case, but geez Louise, what a clown! What an absolute clown show!
It'd make more sense if he hid
Yes,
like a controversial funding source. Like,
Honest
I got money
Gabe?
from this guy or something like that.
The
and
brother calls himself Honest Gabe.
yeah.
What? Oh,
He
can
kept
we do
referring.
better? Can we better? Like,
He kept referring
people?
to his ADHD and his autism,
oh,
which
it's not an
contributed-
excuse.
which contributed
you
to him having
houseplant.
a hothead and impulsive tendencies.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that. No, I'm not gonna say because I'm
Not
not.
at
I'm not a
everyone right
medical
now.
professional. I'm
I'm
not sure how often
sorry.
autistic people can actually look back at a situation and have clairvoyance as to what was like. Can be clearly thinking. But I think it's the way they think is often the way they think, and they're not gonna look back and say, "Oh man, I probably shouldn't have done that." Like you just made up people.
He
He
ran
just
for
sucks,
It-
man.
he ran
not-
for
that doesn't
mayor
make
of
any sense.
Evansville and did the same thing, and then left town. And moved to Indianapolis. It's like when you don't leave the state, you just move up through I-69 a little bit, and then you do the
We
same
just
damn
built up a new
thing.
road so we
They
could go.
still know who you are.
He's gonna pop up in Fort Wayne.
But the judge cited his 2021 campaign for mayor, where he did the same thing in his campaign documents down there, and nobody did anything about it. And now he's got
You can't.
now
do
he's
that.
got new bracelets. So yeah, George Santos is going to jail. Now Santos says that he is asking for a pardon for President Trump.
Ugh.
Nah, don't do it.
There's
You-
no. There's no
iffy.
political
I'm iffy.
gain for Trump to do that.
Why?
I am iffy.
No.
Joe Exotic needs his pardon before.
Yeah,
Yes.
before
yeah.
Tiger
George
King
Santos
forever,
does. Yeah,
not
yeah.
this
I thought
douchebag.
I
He
thought
and
died.
his husband, they got married. He got married to one of
What a
his.
few husbands.
Joyce
He's
Morrell
kind
of
of
Morrell
a slut.
Monument Cleaning reminds us that Honest Gabe can run for federal office still. He did say in his pleading that he plans on never doing this again and has no intention of coming
Right,
into
except for the
politics.
first couple times.
But you know,
No.
politicians
Get out
they
of it.
lie.
No,
I won't.
you
I
get
won't
out.
do
On
it
the
again until
spot,
the
you
next
think you can
time.
make up 67 names?
I want to see
On the
the name.
spot? No, this brother like used a name animator IA.
Oh,
Yeah,
it'd be great. It'd be
dumb
great
shit.
if you looked up the names. It was like Bart Simpson, or like it was like Simpsons characters, or
Bart
like
Simpson.
yeah,
Seymour
or,
Butts.
or like some family
Amanda
guy
Hugging
characters.
Kiss. IP Freely. Come on.
Seymour
come
Wiener
on.
did die this week. He was a Mets star in
Yeah.
his 80s, so he's no longer with
That was
us.
sad.
Seymour Wiener.
True story.
Canadian election. Betsy, you were talking about this last week.
Last week I'm talking
So-
about
so-
Pierre
Oh,
Polivet.
yeah, the conservative.
You
one.
wanted the Blue Dog Democrat
I
conservative
did,
from Canada.
Pierre, man.
And Mark
here-
Carney stole the win away from Pierre. So what? Tell us what we need to know about Canadian politics, because everybody
So-
made it about Trump.
as a conservative, I am bummed. I'm bummed, and I'm going to blame Donald Trump for this. And just let me explain it. So Pierre Polivet, 2 months out, he's up 21 points, the conservative candidate. Pierre is 45 years old. He is French Canadian. He is a superstar. And I think if
He's from
any,
Quebec.
yeah, I don't know.
French Canadian. Who've had
Yeah. Really, really fun, really exciting. Just a young, vibrant voice and just a logical guy if you listen to him. Anyway, President Trump kind of, the 51st state rhetoric kind of got a huge, that was the number one issue in Canadian presidential politics or prime minister politics, whatever, federal politics. And so Trump was pretty playful with that. And Canadians got really pissed off at us. They're pissed off at us in tourism, and they're pissed off about this. And so they elected Mark Carney, who's a limp-wristed, lackluster, backbench, sad sack of a human being
because they don't want to be.
because they're voting against Trump, is what they're saying at the
They
exit
don't want
polls.
anybody to be elected who could possibly.
Yeah, even though Pierre is not that whatsoever, and Pierre's like his whole campaign was Canada first, Canada strong, and I think Pierre, I think he's a dynamic global voice. I really believe in that guy, and his right hand woman is a lesbian her name's Melissa Lanceman, both conservatives, and she's from outside of Toronto, and anyway, she's brilliant. Their version of our legislature is hilarious. They're like parliaments. They are just sniping back at each other. Oh, there's the PM, the prime minister on the floor. He has to answer for this and that. It is so interesting to watch their federally elected leader having to deal with constant questions from the opposition. We don't do that here. Anyway, Pierre would have been great. And instead, I think this was a Trump move that backfired for us globally, Northwise, because we could have had Pierre Polivet and a good partner. Instead, we're going to have Mark Carney, who's just, he's like as boring as Joe Biden, except maybe just a slight more cognizant.
And probably no relation to Castro.
No.
Unlike the last one, who was
He's not
rumored to be
Castro's love
Castro's
child.
kid.
No,
Yeah.
he's not. Good point, man.
Did you know that one about the last guy?
No.
The last Canadian.
Yeah,
Prime Minister.
that was
The real
Fidel
one or
Castro's
the
baby.
one that filled in?
The real one.
No.
The one.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, the interim one.
Oh,
The interim one is Mark Carney. Now he's got the job.
He's
Oh,
in
there
it
we
now.
go.
Yeah.
I'll pay
Yeah.
attention.
That's
Up
okay.
there.
Yeah.
As long as they keep logging for
Never
Bones, he's
sat.
good.
Anyway, that was such a bummer. But Pierce, 45, everybody knows he didn't mess up that election. It was external factors. So I'm just looking towards a world that has him as leader of Canada, the UK, Kelly Badenoch, the conservative leader, the Tories leader, who's a brilliant Black woman, just smart, young conservatives killing it.
They lost a 22%
So it was
lead.
on his game.
Yes, they did. 2 months out, they had 22%. Tariffs and 51st state. Absolutely.
I mean, let's be honest. Republicans would be devastated if they let Canada in with a 51st state.
It wouldn't go well.
The electoral problem that
It's
Canada
deep,
would have.
though. You look at their resources and the land.
No, I'm saying the
acquisition.
electoral
Yeah,
problem.
we also just tap in a bunch of people who are really much more liberal.
Yeah,
But
'cause it's
if you configure them into big states,
No, just one state.
What?
It'd be
Okay.
One state. And they would probably
Republicans still win.
they would get
Still win.
about 35 seats in Congress.
Okay, so you get. Oh yeah.
They would have
but some of them will be conservative still.
right, but
Yeah.
but the electoral college, you're dropping 35 to 40 electoral votes into the Democrat side.
I don't know about that.
82% of Canadians live in urban areas.
They live in Toronto. I mean,
Yeah.
80%
I mean,
of
like,
They live in
Canadians
Toronto.
live below like
Or like
within 100 miles of
live
America.
within 50 or 100 miles of the United States or whatever.
Yeah.
But like if you take your normal kind of trend of urban is a more liberal population, you're going to bring in a country that's 82% urban. And despite what people like to make fun of them, I know you can find some people, the Canadians I like also love their socialized medicine. They legit, I don't go looking for it, but when I'm at races or whatever, when I've been around Canadian, they're like, it is not as bad as you guys make it out to be. They're like, stuff just gets fixed. And they're like, even if it doesn't, you have to wait a little bit. It doesn't cost me $100,000.
Yeah.
So it's worth it to them.
And if it has to wait to get fixed, it probably can wait.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think, yeah. So I think they get tired of being called like America's hat and stuff like that. And for the most part, they're a very polite country and they deal with it. But yeah, the just being thrown around is like, oh, you want to get around tariffs? We'll take you as a 51st state just flippantly. It wasn't even serious.
I'm all for it. Honestly, I'm in.
That would be too. Yeah.
I'm welcome him in.
Yeah.
I wear a Canadian hat all the time.
Here's the thing though, is I want
Practically Canadian.
I don't
We're 2
want-
miles away from there.
I don't want them to assimilate into America. I want them to bring the best parts of Canada in the United States. They have
It
European.
could be both.
Yeah, a little bit both.
I
but
want
like,
them to want us. I want that to be a friendly acquisition.
but like I want some of that stuff to trickle
If we're all
down.
generally on the same page, then let's go.
Listen,
LFG, baby.
I want their vacation schedules.
I'm all in.
They
for
get
bring in.
legit vacation. They're
We have
European.
the same accent, generally.
I'll go statehood for Puerto Rico. I will say statehood for Canada and Cuba. Fuck it.
Let's
I'm
go.
in.
Let's
Bring
go.
in
DC?
Cuba too.
Where are we
Let's
going to do
go.
with DC?
No, they don't have too much power.
That's such a good chunk of the globe.
Bring all three in.
Yep. We got south,
Well,
north,
we had
That's
Cuba
our-
going
yep,
in the
let's
right
do it.
direction.
I'm in.
North Arctic. We got it. We don't need
As a
Greenland.
country, we're a hell of a lot more friendly when we trade with people. We should have relations with Cuba, trade with Cuba, all of that. Obama was right. Trump was wrong, for the record, on that one. Mr. Bones,
Yes.
what's happening Saturday other than Zach's going to try to kill himself?
Yikes.
What?
He's got the mini marathon.
I got a mini marathon.
Oh, that's not my problem.
That's coming up later. Zach's going to bring himself to total exhaustion. The Kentucky Derby,
It is
the 100 running of the Kentucky Derby,
151st
151st.
longest continuous sporting event in the United States.
They didn't miss them for the wars.
No, it's a real sport with a real horsepower.
One.
It's real horsepower though. But anyways, yes, it's Kentucky Derby, and it's one of my favorite events of the year.
Nice.
We got a couple, looks like local connections here.
There are.
Chunk of Gold trainer from Cambridge City. I didn't know Ethan was from there.
It was Chunk of Gold was a $2,500 horse they bought last year.
Yes.
$2,500 running in the Derby.
That beat the market when they for whatever rights they so.
And then Sandman is partially owned by a guy named Griffin Johnson, who's a TikToker. America's Best Racing
Yes.
does this thing where they bring in influencers, social media influencers, and they get a piece of a horse. Alexander Rossi got a piece of a horse. Joey Molinaro got a piece of a horse.
Nice.
Griffin's girlfriend is from Newcastle, a gal named Macy Broyles. And Griffin and Macy get on the Instagram and TikTok
That's cool.
and do their thing.
On the talk tick.
And
Is this the daughter of Mike Rose?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
I don't think.
A relation, maybe.
Maybe.
You know where Griffin's from?
He's a Saluki, I believe. He's from Southern Illinois.
Okay.
Oh,
And then whatever. I don't know the full story. I just know there's a local connection there, and it's the same organization that gave. I texted Joey Molinaro because I'm like, "Hey, how come you got a horse and it finished 17th at the Arlington Million, and Griffin gets a horse from the same people, and he's a freaking favorite for the Kentucky Derby? What the hell?" And then there's a horse named Render Judgment,
Yes.
which was owned by
Toby Keith.
Toby Keith.
Yes.
so look up.
There's also a Daytona horse, one that's named that has
Admiral-
Daytona in the name.
Yes. Admiral. What's it called? Meyer Daytona from Japan.
Man, if I were rich, I'd have a racehorse. How cool is that shit?
Bones isn't rich, and he did have a racehorse.
I had racehorses. You want to know the fastest way to lose
A
$2
ton
billion?
of money. I mean, but I want like $1 billion so I can waste it on $10 million, you know?
Okay.
So we got 20 horses, Mr. Bones. What do we need to know?
Well, we have clear odds. Journalism is going to be the clear odds favorite.
Journalism is rated 4-1 according to the Louisville Courier Journal.
Going off at 7-2 right now.
Sandman is 5-1.
Sandman, because the pools are now open. So
the lines move constantly at this point, right? Chunk of Gold is 35-1.
31.
30. Okay, all right.
Bought for $2,500.
Yeah, bought for 25. They put a little money in it since then.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm sure. Supplement.
Admire Daytona is a bit of a long shot at 39-1 is what I'm showing.
Where was he at? Because he was taking a lot of early money.
And then the Render Judgment, the Toby Keith deal. People are going to do that just for Ford.
Yeah.
And Toby, but that's 13-1 is what the Louisville Courier Journal had published.
Yes.
That was the official Churchill Downs as of today at 1:34 this afternoon. So that's 7 hours old.
I do like Sandman, but no one's won from the 17th post before, ever. A little trivia for you.
Does it make a big difference?
Yes. Well, I mean, it does make a difference.
For the first half a lap, it makes a little bit of a difference. But you can if you get to the top 3 or 4, you can get.
It depends on how hard you had to get to the top 3 or 4.
Okay.
Because you got a hot pace coming in there. I don't want my horse sitting 3 or 4. I want my horse sitting 10 or back.
Right.
Because those horses are coming back to me.
Is it going to rain?
I didn't think so, but I looked at the weather the other day and it said it might. So that changes a little bit of my thinking.
Sloppy track.
Yes. Because I don't think any of these have run on slop before. So that's
Checking the weather right now to see what we're looking at.
Card.
Saturday, 63 degrees in Louisville, 91% chance of rain. Locally heavy rainfall possible. 90% chance they're expecting about a half an inch of rain. And the post time is like 6:57.
Yes.
I got invited to a Kentucky Derby party. They said show up at noon.
Well, we have races going all day.
And you got to drink all day.
It's going to get sloppy by the time the race goes off.
Yeah.
You just see the people at Churchill.
They're dressed to the nines.
They are dressed in nines and act like they are from Morrell.
Where do these people come from? Yeah. So who gets to go to the Derby? Just anybody buys tickets?
Anybody who buys tickets.
All right. Have you been?
I am not.
Do you want to go?
We should. Oh, we do a live.
No. I thought about it.
No.
My May gets very busy, Betsy. This is my one
Can I have
quietish
48
weekend.
hours?
And Zach's busy. Our producer is running the mini
I'm
marathon.
definitely not trudging around the mud.
I'll do live from the track. Churchill Downs.
So I've gone back and forth on this situation. Do I want to go and see it and be a part of it? Absolutely. at the same time, I also kind of like my space, and I know it's elbows to assholes there. And I also like to gamble throughout the day, and I hear you can't really get to.
You don't want to get up and have to fight your way to the.
Yes. So
the locals go on Thurby,
which is
Thursday.
tonight.
Right, that was today.
Tomorrow
is Friday.
The Oaks
That's
Day,
the Kentucky Oaks,
which the girls, for anybody, girls race.
Girl horse or girl?
Girls horse. Yes,
Fillies.
And then Saturday's Derby Day.
So have you got a favorite? Christy Avery says she's got money on Chunk and Journalist.
I like Chunk. He's definitely one of my live long shots to pull something off. I like Sandman. Coming out of that 17 spot, no one's ever won before. His trainer's never won before. Jockey's never won the Derby before.
Yeah, okay. Render Judgment, the trainer won last year.
Yes.
I have one of Betsy's pretzels in my they're stuck in my throat here. Not pretzel. Oyster chip.
Yes.
Oyster cracker. Homemade ranch oyster cracker.
The rendered judgments kind of got me confused, but I think that's just a public pick because of Toby.
The ghost of Toby Keith.
Yeah.
Who was a spokesman for Ford, which we've learned is big in Louisville.
Yes.
And America.
Seems meant to be.
Yeah.
Toby Keith wanted a horse in the Kentucky Derby. This is his year. That's hard to pick against.
That's kind of cool.
Everybody's going to throw $20 on that.
Yeah.
Just for shits and giggles.
It's a great name too. Render Judgment. That horse scares me already. It could look like a My Little Pony, and that name scares me. Love it.
I mean, that name is like it feels like it'd be a legendary horse name. Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember when
It's really
Render
cool
Judgment won in 2025?
Yeah. That horse would kick everybody's ass.
Beat Sandman by a nose.
Yeah.
Anybody have YouTube TV?
Yes.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I tried to watch the Pacers game.
Yeah. What'd you do?
Freaking looked at my phone and watched the scores come in.
I paid for it.
You spent money on the FanDuel subscription?
Yeah, I did. And I was pissed and I hate it. And come on, Simon family, why are you dicking us like that? Come on.
It's on FanDuel now?
So Valley Sports was purchased by FanDuel.
Acquired.
So they label it now. So the Valley Sports mess.
Okay, yeah.
Valley Sports TV is now the FanDuel TV network. And it's still not available on I got the YouTube TV subscription. It's basically it's still treated as a regional sport deal, so you have to have the regional sports network to be able to watch the freaking playoffs.
They block it out.
To watch the freaking playoffs.
Yeah, so you could have the full Dish subscription and have NBA TV, and oh no, my friends, it's blocked out, even though it's sold out. Absolute nonsense. This is a way to piss off your entire fan base. It's nonsense. Simon family, this is your best chance in 30 years to capture the fan base. All good vibes, Halliburton, everybody down, Fever on the other side. Don't fuck with your fans.
This game was like the Reggie Miller comeback against the Knicks in 1994.
Exactly. It channels that exact vibe. Halliburton with the
and the local market, the top TV, the easiest ways to watch television in the modern era did not have access to this.
It really, really, really sad.
Will this
really
change when the new TV contract comes into play next year? Because Amazon bought it, right?
I don't know how.
That still shuts out the locals who don't have Amazon. I hate that.
I don't know how things are set up and who has what rights to what.
Right. And I have Amazon, but I hate that for somebody who doesn't.
If I'm an NFL fan, I have the expectation that every single, even MLB, every game is available on national television for the playoffs, right?
It should be.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's not that freaking hard to say, hey, throw it on TNT. Throw it on
Everybody
CBS.
wants to watch playoff
Throw it on ESPN, whatever.
Yeah.
This is the time of the year. It's Pacers and Racers. This is what we do.
That's right.
It's an assumption. I have cable. I expect to be able to throw the game on. It was a 6:00 game.
Yep.
I just keep checking on
Home
my phone.
Game.
Yeah. And the Pacers forced overtime. They were down by 6 or 7 points with 48 seconds to go.
They set some sort of weird record that they had to very much like. I love that the Pacers comment was like, that we set this record of like, we overcame 7 points with 40 seconds. Somebody's like, well, what about 8 points in 9 seconds, alluding to Reggie Miller in 1992, I think, versus the Knicks.
Yeah.
Which was
94.
Yeah.
94. Thank you. Sorry.
OJ.
Yes, 2 years. Yeah.
Rest
one
in
of the
peace.
greatest sequences of all time, of all sports, ever, ever, ever. Amen. Anyway, I love how the Pacers configured the new one, but still up there with it. Like, amazing comeback. All Halliburton. And yet the locals don't get to see that because, come on, Simon family, do better.
I would think that because is the NBA somewhere in between, like MLB and NFL has a contract. The NFL does their own contract, and they
Yes.
cover the entire league. MLB is broken down,
And
each
they are
team,
always on national if they
yeah,
can.
and
Yes.
MLB does their own contracts, like per team, maybe even. But so it's like NBA somewhere in the middle. I would think that the NBA could,
I
as
don't
a league,
understand
could
how
say,
an NBA why it's not a national contract.
well, it's just too many
with-
games. I
no,
suppose,
no,
but-
and for the playoffs,
The playoffs.
throughout the league.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That
With the
you think the NBA would say, okay, you guys can do your own regular season deal, whatever you want to do for TV, but we own the rights to the broadcast for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And
It's
we're gonna make
incomprehensible that it's not.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, because that is manageable. I understand, like with baseball, basketball, what are 8
This
games?
is worse than just throwing something on Peacock. Like a
Yes.
Notre Dame football games got stuck on Peacock. Fine, sure,
You
whatever.
told me it's on
you
the
need to have
FanDuel
that.
TV network. I'm like, that is so sad. It was sad when it was on Bally Sports. I'm like, I thought Bally Sports was like that was a fitness club from like the 90s. Is what I associate Bally with, because I think it's probably the same company that's been through some evolution or something.
And Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just like, oh, that's just like
it's an incredibly
sellout,
frustrating
too,
fan
but-
experience.
yeah.
And I haven't given a damn about the Indiana Pacers
Yes.
in over a decade.
Right.
I was going to tune in. Like they
Yeah.
had me. They finally had me where I'm okay. It's appointment viewing.
Exactly.
It's important. I'm in.
They are
I'm going to watch it.
squandering the public goodwill.
I'm going to watch it,
Yeah.
and then I can't see it.
The Suns,
And then you're frustrated.
the
And
Phoenix Suns have worked out how to make this happen locally. The Simon family do better. Come on. Let's get behind it.
I don't know the TV situation for the next round. The Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers will be the next round. Pacers the 4 seed, Cleveland's the 1 seed. So
it's gonna be
now
fun.
it's tougher. I would assume or suspect that from here on out, the games are all going to be on national TV. I hope to God they're all on national TV.
Yeah.
If they are not, then this is an NBA fault. And it's bigger than the Simons at that point. It's an NBA problem.
Sure.
But the Simons could fix it, right? The regional thing, you could fix it. You
Yes.
could work out a deal and say, hey, you know what? Fox 59, you can simulcast the game. It's the same thing the NFL does
It's
with
just
preseason
not good for
games.
the game. It's literally taking money you already have. Like, just stop.
But Bones, you're exactly right. It should be
Yes.
the NBA should control the playoff TV.
That should be the
package.
premier game of the conference of the
It
second
doesn't,
round.
It doesn't need to be a premier game or whatever. It just needs, once we get in the playoff time, every NBA basketball is on either whatever TV channels they're going to switch to, but
so-
all they'll need to be on TNT.
right.
The opening game is on TNT, True TV, Max, and then TV for the next 2 games after that says to be determined. For the rest of them, it says to
Well,
be
they
determined.
don't know what time and place they're going to
Yeah.
play them.
Yeah.
All of
So-
that stuff happens,
but-
right?
And then we don't know if we
But at
even
least
need
the
those
first game will be on cable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
ABC and TNT need to have every game
Yeah.
during the playoffs.
And TNT excludes people who don't have cable, but at this point,
Right.
pretty much it.
I'm not going to bitch that it's not
Yeah,
on
I
free
get
over-the-air
that.
television.
Right.
That part I get. TV
Yeah,
packages,
I-
modern era,
I agree.
fine. But don't stick it on such a
Right.
pain in the ass regional sports network where you just can't get it.
Right.
And that was the
Like, I
problem
have
last
all
year with-
I literally pay for all this and I still can't get it. Like, and that just does damage. Honestly, that is damaging the relationship between fan and, the team base.
YouTube TV finally has fixed the problem with watching the Xfinity races, the AAA minor league series, because they have the exclusive rights the CW does to broadcast the Xfinity series. Couldn't see that in Indianapolis either for the first
Yeah.
2 months of the year. Now they simulcast it, but the CW affiliate in Indianapolis isn't on YouTube TV. Was the top 2 or 3 biggest motorsports market in this country? Yeah, none of your business. Can't see it. No. Screw you people. Growing pains of a streaming world, Mr. Bones. Mini Marathon, Mr. Bones, I've got a surprise for you.
Yep.
Zach went down and picked up
the.
the bib for you. You've got a spot on Saturday morning to run. You're in corral number 6.
Do I have a golf cart?
Packet pickup was so stupid.
So tell us what the experience is. You're running Saturday for like the 36th year in a row of your life. You started when you were a toddler.
I started in 2008.
Okay. It's been some time ago.
Every year since then, yeah. So usually packet pickups in the convention center, which is sometimes they move it which into the convention center it's in, which is inconvenient because if people know about Indianapolis Convention Center, it's enormous, so it can be a quite a walk. This year they moved it to Lucas Oil. And I was like, okay, we'll do it at whatever. They said just $5 to park in the parking lot directly south of Lucas Oil. I'm like, fine. So I drive down there. There's 2 entrances they want us to use. Each one is 1 lane kiosk, credit card to get in. And so the lines were almost around the property. Like it took me 45 minutes to get parked. I was in the expo for 15 minutes. I thought, well, maybe they'll have us on the field or something. Nope. We're in a weird conference. We're like in a weird convention space I think it's when you're walking in the main entrance, like there's stairs and stuff that go up to the right, like with a person. I think we were under that. We were like, you literally take an escalator down. So I think we were underneath the sidewalk next to Missouri Street or Capitol, I think. I went in and got I don't really care about the expo so much anymore. So I just kind of roll in, get my bib. I had to get a correction because I got seated to be in the first wave and they didn't put it on my bib. So I had to go get a sticker for that.
You wanted to be starting out front.
Yeah. I earned my way. It was either going to be, they put me in J and then I was like, I seeded out of my 6 miler time to be in D and in the first wave. And I'm like, yes, get me in the first wave. So I don't have to stand around and wait.
You want to get started and get done. You don't want to wait on people.
Absolutely. I want to be done as possible. That and you're just with faster people generally. So that kind of helps you. There's usually, I only pass 6 or 8 walkers in the first quarter mile, which I normally do. But yeah, you're just in and that is the weather forecast does not look great. It looks like it's going to be raining. So I don't want to stand in the rain for an extra 10 minutes or 15 minutes to get started. I just want to get over it.
So does it go like A, B, C, D?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the Kenyans are like A's.
Your bib will activate when you cross through the gate.
Yeah. There's a chip built into it. And you cross like timing mats at, there might be 6. There's one on the track. I think maybe yard of bricks-ish. And then there's another one like at 5K and at 15K, I think. So it's about 9.3 miles in. And so that's kind of help predict when you're going to finish for, there's a tracking website or whatever. So my wife can kind of figure out where I'm at. There's also a mat like right at mile 13.
What will your family do waiting on you? Because you all drive down together and they just post up. And
the last couple of years has just been my wife. Like
they go to Steak and Shake without you?
Kids go to, I don't know what my wife, because I think I'm the only one. I know people going. None of my normal crew are running this year. So it's just April and I. So I don't know what she'll do. She usually tries to hustle over and get a seat because they usually have some bleachers set up at the finish, and she tries to get a seat in the bleachers so that she can chill out there and get good pictures because you're slightly elevated.
Does she cheer?
No, probably not.
Zachy.
No, she likes to watch the finishers come in because usually by the time I pass through, it seems like by the time she gets over there, like the first wheelchair's coming in.
I like to wake up and turn on Channel 13 on the Saturday morning and watch for people. What will you be wearing so that we can know what to look for?
Dark green Under Armour shirt, probably a black hat, black shorts, and bright orange shoes. I usually tomorrow night, almost without fail, I will post a picture of whatever I'm going to wear laid out. That's kind of a running thing.
Nice.
But I'll put the shorts on. I don't wear my bib on my shirt. I wear it on my shorts. I don't want it on my shirt. So I'll put on my shorts and get it pinned on there and then lay everything out. And
like front shorts or back shorts?
Front shorts. Just on usually left leg. I just don't like them on my shirt because I use my shirt, especially tomorrow. Saturday. I'll use my shirt to wipe sweat off my face. So I don't want a waterproof piece of paper on there. Or I poke my eye with a safety pin. So yeah, they just go on my
bleeding
shoulders.
out and
yeah. If it's raining though, it'll be kind of pointless.
Before he gets to the track.
Legit.
The worst. I mean, I've told people that one of the worst feelings ever, and it wasn't bad. There's nothing bad. You can't do anything about it. Was one of the first years I ran it. They were showing the winners finishing as a replay as I entered the track. And when you enter the track, you're not yet halfway there. Like 6 miles is right next to the museum.
But in the mental warfare, you have to go, well, they started way before me.
Yeah.
they didn't start that much before me. The better part of that, the flip side of that is that my best year, then when they started doing wave starts, there's a section of White River Parkway or whatever, the road that runs along the river right past the zoo and stuff. There's a section of that you go across twice, and you don't even realize it because they move stuff around and clear stuff out. But there's a section of it. And one year I came through there, which means I was at mile 12, and the back of the pack bus was just turning on to Michigan Street. So those people were at mile 1, and I was at mile 12. Now, part of it, they got a delayed start, but they had the bus behind them. I was like, that's why you want to be seated. I was like, I don't want to, I could only imagine being 10 miles behind where I was and still going. If it gets hot, you don't want to be there. It's not going to be hot Saturday. It's going to be wet.
Actually, they have a bus that'll pick me up.
Yeah, so it goes horribly wrong.
Almost always like
the bus of shame will come and get you, Mr. Bones.
There's almost always like a
Is there a
minimum.
smoking section?
Like, is there a smoker's class when you're registering?
My mom stopped one time in a convenience store on the way and bought herself like an apple or something like that. I think there's like it's an 18-minute mile minimum. So if you're not maintaining that speed, they'll throw you on the bus and take you back.
So Indianapolis Saturday is scheduled to be a low of 48, a high of 60, 57% chance of rain. So
I guess
it's not quite as bad.
The Newcastle forecast, yes.
That's for Speedway, Indiana.
Okay. I'll go there and back.
Zach, we wish you luck. Is there a target? Do you want to say the target out loud as to what you want to achieve?
Sub 2.
So under 2 hours.
Yeah. Which it shouldn't be that hard of a goal for me, but
what'd you do last year?
Horrible. Like 2:13. I had a meltdown. I have been getting progressively slower since Owen, not the first year, because I ran a mini when he was in the hospital. So he was born late enough. He was born April 30th. His birthday was yesterday. And so that year, he still wasn't out of he and my wife weren't out of the hospital yet. So I left from the hospital, ran down, did the mini, came back. I think the next year I PR'd, which was like a 139
Puerto Rico,
change.
for those wondering.
And every year since then, I've been getting slower. So I'm trying to reverse the slide.
And you think this year you're going to pick up 13 minutes?
Yeah, I think I could. Yeah. I picked up a minute a mile in my normal running.
We're going to need April out there just yelling, move your ass, Zach.
Yeah.
You would. How many days in a row are we at in your running?
1217.
1,217 days in a row.
I just looked at my mileage for the year, so I was going to do a mile tomorrow. I might do 2 miles tomorrow, because if I do that, then the last mile of the mini will be my 500th mile of the year. I'm at 485 or something.
Take Sunday off, man. So you can sit on the couch and watch the Barber IndyCar race on Sunday.
I hope it stops raining, though, because normally my thing I do, and sometimes I walk there. I go to the Broad Street Cruise on Saturday nights, and I'll go walk down there, and I'll stumble around just to keep the legs moving.
On Saturday evening is the Broad Street Cruise in.
If the weather,
head to head with the Kentucky Derby.
I don't care about the Kentucky Derby, so I just go down Broad Street.
We just did 20 minutes on the Kentucky Derby. You care for the purposes of the show.
Well,
we give a damn. We got big money on Chunk of Gold.
Listen, we give a damn about
how
the mini
long
marathon.
does the Kentucky Derby take?
2 minutes.
I know. It's a lot of height for 2 minutes.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I was going to say, like my wedding night.
Barber this weekend. Betsy, you're going to join the Fantasy IndyCar League, the Wall BHOL Racing League.
Sure.
Mr. Bones is, you can catch him. If you have a good week this week, I think you can catch Mr. Bones.
Yep.
His, this is a very interesting fantasy program, Betsy, because you choose 6 drivers, you decide how long you want to sign them to contracts for, and it's a salary cap league. So you have a $100 million budget to spend to start, and then you're trying to grow that budget, but also record points. Mr. Bones only heard grow the budget. So he's bought people cheap and sold them high. He hasn't given a damn when it came to making points.
Well, yeah, I select those 3.
I think I'm up to top 4 now. So I'm excited about it. Barber, the winner last year was Scott McLaughlin, the new American citizen. Alex Palou has finished in the top 5 every time he's been there. He won his first race there. Any reason to believe we got a surprise winner coming, Zach? At Barber?
No, I kind of surprise. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I don't think so, but I think if it'll be somebody that they say it's a surprise, I could see like a Rosenquist popping out and doing something like that's those people that are kind of in the top 10. I doubt it's anybody out of the top 10 in points. I'd love for it to be Rosenquist. That'd be good.
If you want a surprise winner, I'm going to give you maybe not a surprise winner. I don't
Ferrucci.
think we're going to get a winner there, but I would not be surprised to see Connor Daly in the top 10.
He
this
needs
week.
it. He's getting gun smoked by Stingray.
His team did incredibly well with Ramon Grosjean both times they were there. They got a really good setup at Barber, and I think the Penske's are going to be really fast as well. Felix Rosenquist finished. He was fifth fastest last year, and finished fourth in the race. So that's a damn good choice.
What the hell's Barber at?
Birmingham, Alabama,
Oh,
basically.
okay.
It's actually,
So Barber is named after a dude named George Barber who built the racetrack.
I thought you had a haircut when you wrote that in there.
he's got there's a huge like it's actually built for motorcycles, and there's a huge museum there with all kinds of motorcycles and some race cars too.
It's an eccentric facility. It's kind of styled after Augusta, the golf course. Super well manicured, the green rolling hills. They call it the Augusta of motorsports. But the guy is also a little bit of an eccentric. So randomly put throughout the racetrack, he has these sculptures and weird art displays. Spiders.
There was a mannequin that was hanging down from a pedestrian bridge last year, and it fell on the track.
It fell on the track and got run over by a race car.
Yikes.
That was
That's fun, though.
Yeah. And they took it to the media center, and Scott took his pictures. Georgina, they named it, and they said it'll probably be moved somewhere else. But yeah, you look and there's these like weird. They'll show them on the broadcast because it's interesting. Yeah, there's all these kind of weird sculptures around the
That's so
place.
weird and so dramatic. But like
Apparently,
in a
the
cool way.
museum is so world class. They say like you need an entire day
Wow.
to go through it.
Yeah, last year, if you look at the, if you go just look for the Barber highlights from last year, some of the drivers were, I think there was an onboard that they showed of Kyle Kirkwood, reporting his trouble from during the race. And he's like, hey, I think the mannequin that was hanging just fell. And they said, yeah, it's getting more TV time than you are. They know about it. Don't worry about it.
And it was hanging as if it was a woman who hung herself from this pedestrian bridge. It was like,
Okay, so wow.
so it was like, yeah. So and it was kind of hidden up in like the scaffolding that kind of supports it. So as the drivers went under there, they would see what looks like this dead woman hanging from the bridge.
This is NASCAR?
IndyCar.
IndyCar? What?
Yeah, it's just
He's just a weird
fell
dude. I
down.
think that has like a little bit of a sixth sense of humor.
So hey, IndyCar drivers, you
Took the
might
left-
see a suicided
Yeah.
woman as you drive by.
Betsy, I will send. I will drop the link into the Facebook live chat for anybody that's paying attention here, and then I'll give it to Betsy.
I guess I was fine with the murder, but not the I don't know.
It's
kinda
he's
weird.
It's a weird little facility.
So yeah, it's fun. But yeah, get in the fantasy IndyCar. Last announcement here, because the month of May has started. It's May, guys. Our schedule is going to bounce around because Zach and I don't live here on the back half of some of these weeks.
Little as possible.
Tuesday next week. Very quick turnaround. A Tuesday episode of Boss Hog next week. Still working out the guests and the plan, but we'll have something. We'll do something for you. Tuesday next week. The following week, the qualifying week, we'll be here on a Thursday. And then race week, the race night special will be on Tuesday before the Indy 500.
Nice.
So Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday.
I do have a congratulations to Carrie Barrett, who has announced she's got a new position as development officer for the Henry County Community Foundation. So I wondered when something was going to pop up because she's too busy to not have something going on.
She so deserves to get paid for
Yeah.
the amazing thing
she's
she
gone from
has
volunteer
done
to-
for this community, and this county, the city.
Carrie's fantastic.
Massive fan of Carrie.
Anything else, Mr. Zach?
Oh, I think that's about it. Like, I hope the weather holds out. Other than that, I'll hopefully survive Saturday. I'll post something. If you don't see something on Facebook by about noon,
Check the hospitals.
no, it probably just didn't go well because I'm at this point I'll get really pissed off if because last year was like a complete.
You were very angry at yourself.
I was real pissed off last year.
Hey, but no matter what, we're going to be proud of you. So post it anyway.
I'll just be laying in the grass, face down, open the ground.
I mean, maybe, but the rest of us eating our Cheetos on the sidelines are still going to be proud of you. So
Yeah.
proud of you, man, no matter what.
I'm going to be towing my Tahoe to Fujerado to get it repaired. As Zach's running for his life.
Yeah.
Through
Bright and early.
Speedway.
I think it starts 7:30. So
I'm going to be on the couch.
I'm hoping to be done by 9:30.
Miss Betsy, 2 weeks in a row.
Hey.
We love having you here. Thanks
Love
for
to
being
be
here.
here. Everything's good. It's good to be Hoosier. It's May, baby. Who's got it better than us? Pacers and Racers and Fever.
These Pacers better hurry with their season.
Yeah.
The Fever need the building.
I called it last week. I said Pacers in 5, and that happened thanks to my fiance, Tyrese Halliburton. But
your father-in-law is kind of an asshole.
My father-in-law is a real asshole, and I'm glad that the Pacers said you're not going to any more games, Papa Halliburton, because you behaved badly. Just him being in Giannis's face was completely unacceptable.
On the court. He came out on the court.
Yeah, just
Pacers,
there's nothing about that was okay.
The Pacers and fan interactions need to not happen.
Absolutely.
Especially when the team is good.
I still have PTSD from Malice in the Palace.
Still too soon.
Ron Artest destroyed Reggie Miller's final season. I will never forgive him. I swear to God, I never will. Anyway.
I don't think that was his name.
But
Reggie's cool.
Oh, Meta World Peace. F that. Anyway, glad to see the Pacers move
Facebook
on.
For stealing his name.
Cleveland's a tough draw. Obviously, we always knew that was next. But no, it's cool. It's cool to see our basketball team's doing well. And then month of May,
they've got Mark Price and LeBron, so I'm kind of worried.
We got Fever this weekend at home. We've got Washington at 1 p.m. The Fever's first preseason game, and then Sunday.
Playing the Generals, they don't win much.
The mistakes, but yeah, Generals will be in the stands watching. And then on Sunday at 4 p.m., this will be on ESPN. Fever versus the Brazilian national team, and they're playing at Carver Arena, which is Iowa. That's the Iowa basketball arena. So that should be really fun. A lot of Caitlin
So the
Clark
Pacers
fans.
are playing, the Fever are playing a professional game, and then the next day they play
against the national team of
exhibition
Brazil.
team.
Yeah. So that should be a lot of fun.
As a
Caitlin's
barnstormer.
Former home.
Yeah,
Iowa.
yeah. And it sold out so quick. As a season ticket holder, I couldn't get tickets in Iowa. Like it sold out before it began.
How many
awesome.
people from Iowa show up to a regular Fever game? Like you see a bunch of
oh my
Clark
God!
college
I would say easily a quarter of the crowd.
They're
is
coming
Iowa
down
here.
I-74.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh!
It's a regular.
Yeah, Michael Hicks.
Other
from
than
Ball State's
Chicago,
done some good studies of like the economic impact of Caitlin Clark. But I can tell you, just being in the stands, all the Iowa gear. Like I have tons of Fever gear. I have some Caitlin stuff. Like whatever. I try to do more Fever than any player, but it is ridiculous. And you can see like the stuff is dated a couple years out. They came from the thick of Iowa to be in Indy for that game. It's awesome. Great economic impact.
There couldn't have been a better place for her to land other than Chicago than Indianapolis.
Oh no, I think Indy's better. I think she's such a Midwestern girl. Like she knows that she will be taken care of here. And I think the Pacers organization have done such a good job of protecting her. I mean, she's got security around her 24/7. Now, Steve Krieger's her agent. It's hilarious to watch him. He's always in the thick of it.
She's the reason they fly private now.
Yeah. But like, she could not have landed in a better place. And the branding around it, the new Brady campaign, it's long, but it's so good. It's effectively, it's now you know. And I'm just really excited. They all want a championship. I think it's going to happen.
There's a great video of her. I don't know what, they're at a game, they're at some event, and Dave Letterman's there. And Dave tries to wander off, and she's like, "Get over here." And he tries to say something, and she's like, "Get over here." And Dave Letterman just walks over and does what she says. And I was like, she's got pull, and she can boss Dave Letterman around. And Dave's like, "Okay."
Did you see her on his show?
Not yet. I bet that's fantastic.
It's so good. My guest needs no introduction. So this is Letterman's show on Netflix. Yeah, and a couple of years ago, he did one with Peyton at Ball State, which was amazing. It was such a good episode. But this was Dave Letterman, my fellow alma mater from Ball State. He had Caitlin to Emmons Auditorium at Ball State and just asked her a bunch of questions. And they did errands around Indy. Was it duck pin bowling? They went to Long's Donuts, legendary, of course. But then it mostly was at Edmonds at Ball State. It was epic. It was such a good conversation. It was really, really well done, and good shine on Ball State. And yeah, she was meant to be a Hoosier.
Mr. Bowens, you got a final selection for us? Where do I put my money at the Derby?
All right, everybody, get your pencils out, pens, whatever. Write these numbers down.
Yeah. It's the winning lottery ticket, folks.
You're going to go to You're going to go to the window. You're going to say, we want a 50-cent try box. We're going to go 7, 17, 18, 19.
It's a horrible name.
I want the 7, 17,
what did I
18,
just write
and
down?
19.
Say that again.
We want the 50-cent try box.
What does that mean?
I thought you said dry box. I was like, what a weird thing
why did you give me 4 numbers if I want a try box?
Okay, so Trifecta, you pick the first 3 horses to finish.
Okay.
If you box it, you can pick more horses and they can finish in any order.
So as long as those 4 horses are in the top 4,
Or as long as those horses are in the top 3.
okay. So the
you're
17
winning.
was Sandman.
Yes.
Who were the other horses?
7 was Luxor Cafe.
Okay.
The next was 17.
17 Sandman. 18 is Sovereignty.
I'm sorry, you have to enunciate. Sovereign.
Sovereignty.
And 19 is Chunk of Gold.
I actually had that written down the first time. Yikes.
All right. So if Chunk of Gold wins, I put my 50 cents on this try box. How much are we winning here,
$10
Mr.
million.
Bones?
Okay, I don't know. We don't know the amount yet, but this bet will cost you $12. This is a $12 bet.
It was a 50-cent try box. Why is it going to cost me $12?
You're right.
Then you can take out Chunk of Gold. It'll cost you 50 cents.
I'm not taking out Chunk of Gold because
Okay.
that's my goddamn winner, Mr. Bones.
GD.
All right, so $12, and
$12.
I'm gonna make 13 on this.
No. This bet hits. We're making some money.
Can I place this bet on my phone?
Yes.
Can I place this bet through FanDuel?
Yes.
Can I place this bet through DraftKings?
Yes.
Okay, I have $5. Was that still going to work, or do I need $12 to make this bet?
I mean, you could take.
I only have $5 left in my account, Mr. Bones. I paid some big Indy 500 bets
If you
today.
take out one of those horses, the bet will go down to $3.
Okay.
The bet will cost you only 50 cents if you don't box it.
All right,
But then you have to pick the exact.
but I got to nail
How many
the 3.
songs did?
Yeah.
This is very complicated.
Yeah.
You know, IndyCars are easier.
No. Parimutuel betting is way better than any other betting.
Next week, we'll be back on a Tuesday. Mr. Bones, we'll see if he makes it. And we'll see if he's wearing a top hat and monocle from all his winnings in Derby. We'll see you then.